All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our Board of Education meeting for the Borough of Bound Brook for the month of March. I'm very excited to see everybody here so that we can do some Student of the Month and Educator of the Month awardees as well as some special awards. But to get things started, I'm going to read our Open Public Meeting Act. We'll say the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we'll get things underway. So, the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies, at which time any business affecting their interests is discussed and acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this Act and Board of Education Policy 0162, the Board of Education of the Borough of Bound Brook has caused notice of this meeting to be posted in the board office and at Bound Brook High School and mailed or faxed to the Courier News, Bound Brook Borough Clerk, South Bound Brook Board of Education, and any person who has requested individual notice and paid the required fee. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. At this time, I believe we will be swearing in one of our Board of Education members. Ms. Lee, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Board President. So we had three re-elected board members last November. Two of the board members are already sworn in, and then right now the last board member, Ms. Wilson, will be sworn in for our board members. Okay, Ms. Wilson,
Yes.
Raise your right hand and then repeat after me. And when I read I, insert your name, please. I
Joanna Musson,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States. Repeat after me.
I'm sorry. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
The Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
to the governments established in the United States and this state,
to the governments established in the United States and this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people,
So help me God.
so help me God.
I
I, Joanna Musson,
do solemnly swear that I possesses the qualifications prescribed by law for the office of the member of the Board of Education,
do solemnly swear that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law for the office of member of the Board of Education,
and that I'm not disqualified as a voter pursuant to RS 19:4-1, nor disqualified due to conviction of a crime or offense listed in NJS 18A:12-1,
that I am not disqualified as a voter pursuant to RS 19:4-1, nor disqualified due to a conviction of a crime or offense listed in NJS 18A:12-1,
and that I'll faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of that office according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of that office according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Joanna. Welcome back. And Ms. Lee, now that we are a full board, when you are ready, can you please do a roll call?
Yes. Mr. Bao,
Here.
Mr. Dawson, Ms. Gazino, Ms. Hai, Mr. Incalcatara, Mr. Januzzi,
Here?
Mr. Minhas, Ms. Musin, Mr. Ballmer, Mr. Zupko. Mr. President, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. The next item, 1.6, is really just an acknowledgement. I want to confirm, and Ms. Lee can check for anybody who doesn't remember, but I believe earlier this year, each of us acknowledged receipt of and acceptance of the New Jersey School Boards Association Code of Ethics. Ms. Musson, now that you've been sworn in, I believe that you'll have an opportunity to do the same. Please just remit that to Ms. Lee when you're done. And a reminder to our board members, I believe we have training in May that will,
April.
is April? There you go. So it's going to be in April. That will precede our regularly scheduled meeting where New Jersey school boards will come in and refresh our memories on what that code of ethics entails. At this point, I believe we are up to Dr. Freeman for superintendent's report and recognition.
Okay, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our March board meeting. I'm going to turn it back over to our president, who is also the Somerset County School Board president, who is going to present a special recognition for one of our students who was recognized by the County Board of Education a month or so ago.
Thank you, Dr. Freeman. So for those of you who are not familiar, the New Jersey School Boards Association runs a program that we call the Unsung Heroes Award. These are typically students who are overlooked by traditional forms of recognition, but have overcome some hardship or barriers to become successful students and lead into the next phase of their lives. So each district each year has the opportunity to select one student to receive this award. And tonight I'm really honored to be here to recognize Joelle Orellana as the recipient this year for Bound Brook High School. So we actually have a resolution of the Board of Education, which I will read into the record. And it says, whereas the Bound Brook Board of Education recognizes Joelle Orellana for receiving the Somerset County School Boards Association Unsung Hero Award on March 2nd, 2026. And whereas the Somerset County School Board Association, in collaboration with New Jersey School Boards Association, recognizes unsung heroes from each high school in Somerset County. And whereas the Unsung Hero Award honors students who make outstanding contributions to their schools and communities, but are often overlooked by other traditional student recognition programs. These students have overcome difficult academic and personal challenges, modeled good citizenship, or a spirit of quiet strength that has inspired others. These unsung heroes may have organized community nonprofit programs, selflessly supported others, or achieved academic success despite disabilities, language barriers, or other significant challenges. And whereas Joelle Orellana has overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles to reach his full potential, has served the school community and the community at large, and stands as a beacon to inspire others. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Bound Brook Board of Education recognizes Joelle Orellana as an unsung hero of Somerset County and the Bound Brook School District. And be it further resolved that this resolution is presented to Joelle Orellana as a sincere token of the Bound Brook Board of Education's congratulations and best wishes for continued success. All right, Dr. Freeman, back to you.
Okay, and next up for our Students of the Month, we'll have Dr. S. come forward to present the Students of the Month for Lamont and Lamont Annex.
Congratulations to Cora Atkinson and Miss Todaro's class. Cora's favorite school subjects are the Dramatic Play Center and the Art Center. Her favorite hobbies include playing with her friends, building blocks, and spending time with her family. When she grows up, Cora wants to be a teacher. Congratulations, Cora. Okay. Milo, want to come up? All right. Congratulations to Milo Foote in Miss Peron's class. Milo's favorite subject is math. His favorite hobbies are playing baseball, and his career plan is to become a professional baseball player. Congratulations, Milo.
Yay, Milo!
Congratulations to Amy Garcia Batista. Amy is in Miss Hodges' class. Her favorite subject is math. Her hobbies include drawing and reading. Her career plan is to become a doctor. Congratulations, Amy.
Can you get him in there? All right. And next up, filling in for Ms. Gahas at Lafayette School, we have Mr. Ross.
Welcome, everybody. So we'll start off with our second grade student of the month. It is Jameer Rosato. Come on up. So Jameer, nominated by his teachers, Mrs. Patel and Ms. Reese. Favorite school subject is painting. Likes to play with the father and wants to be a singer. So the artistic soul is going to shine. Come on up. And our third grade student of the month is Abigail Gonzalez. Abigail was nominated by her teacher, Miss Caudle, and she has a sibling in 5th grade, Raphael. Favorite subject is math. Yes. And likes to play outside, do arts and crafts, and wants to be a veterinarian. Congratulations.
Mom and Dad, do you want to come forward? Mom and Dad. Good job. And next up from Smalley School, we have Mrs. Morgan.
It's your turn. All right. So for Smalley School, our 4th grade student of the month is Abigail Aldana Hernandez. Abigail has a brother and a sister. Her favorite subject is art because it's peaceful. She likes to bring her art supplies to the park and do painting because it's relaxing. Her favorite hobby is playing basketball. She likes to do that with her big brother. And when she grows up, she wants to be a teacher because she likes kids and wants to help teach them. Congratulations. And our 5th grade student of the month is Avance Macis Vargas. Oh, there you are. Avance has 2 big sisters. His favorite subject is math because he feels that he's good at it. His favorite hobby is playing Minecraft with his friends and other video games. I thought Minecraft was the best for him to play. And he wants to join the military unit when he grows up and be in the Air Force. Congratulations.
Mike. Mom and Dad, come on up.
And our 6th grade student of the month is Isais Perez Felipe. Come on up. He has one big sister. His favorite subject is art because he likes to paint. His favorite hobby is to go on the computer and watch YouTube, and he wants to be a builder when he grows up to build big houses and tall buildings. Congratulations.
And next up from Community Middle School, we have Dr. Santa Surma.
Hello, everyone. First up for the Community Middle School, our 7th grade student of the month, Diana Alonzo Reyes. Diana was nominated by her teacher, Miss Goldrosen, is an only child, and favorite subject in school is art. When Diana, her favorite hobbies are volleyball and listening to music, and when Diana grows up, wants to become an astronomer. Next up for the Community Middle School, our 8th grade student of the month, Sophia Vasquez.
You have to smile, though.
Sophia was nominated by her teacher, Mr. Crowley, who's here tonight. Sophia has an older brother, Manny, who's a senior at our high school. Favorite subjects are my favorite subjects, PE and lunch. Loves playing sports. And when Sophia grows up, wants to either go into cosmetology or become a teacher.
Last but certainly not least, we have Mr. Smith from the high school.
Good evening. Bound Brook High School's Crusader Citizen of the Month Award. Our first recipient is Zoe Acevedo. Here you go, Zoe. Don't come on in. Okay, Zoe has 3 siblings, Elvis, Angeles, and Ethan. Her favorite subject in school is Intro to Painting, and her favorite hobbies include drawing, hanging out with friends, and playing the guitar. Her future career plans include becoming a veterinarian. Congratulations.
There we go. Mom's gone.
Yay!
All right. Congratulations.
Our next recipient, Joaquin Rosa. Joaquin could not be with us this evening, so I will still read his little biographical information. Joaquin has 1 sister and 3 brothers. His favorite subject in school is art. His favorite hobbies include playing basketball. In the future, he wants to become a carpenter. So congratulations, Joaquin. Our next recipient, Lady Miranda.
Lanny has two sisters. Her favorite subject in school is English. Her favorite hobbies include playing volleyball and running track. And her future career plans include enlisting in the Marines. Congratulations. Sure, absolutely. Come on up. Here she comes. Here she comes.
You're gonna be here next year, so it's fine.
All right. Well deserved. And last but certainly not least, Moaz Abdelmonem. Okay, Moaz has two siblings, Ahala and Farouk. His favorite subject in school is English. His favorite hobbies include playing football, and he hopes to play football at the college level and pursue a career in nursing. Congratulations, Moaz.
Okay, Mr. Smith, don't go too far. At this time, we are going to announce our District Employee of the Month.
Hello again. Ashley Levitt of Bound Brook High School is being recognized as the District Staff Member of the Month. From the moment one enters her classroom, Ashley's passion for learning and her ability to build meaningful connections with her scholars are immediately evident. She consistently creates an engaging and supportive learning environment where scholars feel valued, heard, and motivated to participate. Ashley demonstrates strong content expertise, presenting material in a clear and purposeful manner that makes learning accessible for all of her scholars. Her instruction reflects thoughtful planning and a commitment to ensuring that scholars not only understand the content, but are able to apply it with confidence. Her classroom management is highly effective, striking a balance between structure and approachability, where expectations are clear and scholars respond with respect and accountability. At the core of her work is a strong belief in her scholars and a limitless mindset, which aligns seamlessly with the culture of our building and reinforces high expectations for all of her scholars. Beyond the classroom, Ashley is a collaborative and dependable team member who actively contributes to the success of her colleagues and the English department as a whole. For instance, she recently developed a comprehensive NJGPA review resource that was shared across all junior classes, providing a consistent and meaningful support tool for both scholars and teachers. She is always willing to share ideas, offer support, and contribute to collective goals, demonstrating a true team-first mindset. In addition to her instructional role, Ashley serves as a co-advisor for the National English Honor Society, where she helps create enriching opportunities for scholars beyond the classroom. Through initiatives such as the Reading Buddies, she has helped organize meaningful experiences in which scholars visit elementary schools to promote literacy and build connections with younger learners. These efforts reflect her commitment to fostering both academic growth and community involvement. Ashley's dedication to her scholars, her colleagues, and the entire school community is evident in all that she does. Her positive impact extends well beyond her classroom, contributing to a culture of learning, collaboration, and care at BBHS. Ashley, we are so proud of your growth and commitment to excellence. It is for these reasons, among so many others, that Ashley is recognized as the District Staff Member of the Month. Congratulations.
Before you go, we're going to get a picture, okay? All right. At this time, I would like all parents to come up front. We're going to take a group picture together. All parents and students of the month, we're going to come up front. I don't want you to come by yourselves, but parents and students to come up front to take a picture.
You're good. You're good. We're happy. There you go. Good.
Okay, and while everybody's headed back to their seat, we had one student of the month from the high school arrive. So if he would come up front and be recognized on this side, Mr. Smith. Oh. No, it's okay. So things happen.
You know. All right, good.
All right. So we're going to revisit Moaz. So Moaz, as we said earlier, has two siblings, Ahala and Farouk. His favorite subject in school is English. His favorite hobbies include playing football, and he plans to go to college and play college football at that level and pursue a career in nursing. So let's give a warm round of applause for Moaz.
And if mom and dad would come up, we'll take a picture and he'll take the picture for you, all right? Congratulations. How are you?
Thank you for coming. Ready? Big smiles. 1, 2, 3. Ready? Yep. Smile. All right.
Do it. Okay. So where are we now? Okay. Okay, we're going to take a short 5-minute break, after which we'll have some presentations.
People know how bad it really was. Let's tell you, meetings were in this room. She was one of them. Parents came in. We got street for hours. We could just line up and just get those. Like 1 or 2 months, you actually stood up. Everybody. Right. She was over a couple times. was on the board, it was in the auditorium. Then they moved him here for some reason. He was here and here, and then they moved him back. What's been here that long?
All right, everybody, we are going to reconvene the meeting. At this time, we have two presentations. The first one by Mr. Ross and the second one, our budget presentation by Ms. Lee. But for the Board of Education members, since the screen is behind us, I encourage everybody now to move into the audience and let's listen to Mr. Ross's presentation on absenteeism.
Okay. Hello, everybody. So I'm going to give a quick presentation on the chronic absenteeism plans that we have for each of our school buildings. This is a system of even more attention to our already intention to make sure that students recognize how important it is for them to be present every day in order for their education to be cohesive and also, to build these habits of mind. So we start off with the theme, which is we do solutions, in sitting with the principals and the vice principals to review their chronic absenteeism plans. I've noticed that they've been working since the beginning of this school year with the assistant superintendent to look at ongoing ways to review how to support our students and make sure that the parents and the children understand their need to be in school. So why and what is a CAP, or a chronic absenteeism corrective action plan? The New Jersey Department of Education has a requirement that if we hit a 10% mark of students being 18 days absent out of 18 days absent out of 180 days, then we need to create a corrective action plan to make sure we get below that 10%. To give you an example, say Lafayette has about 240 students. So 10% of that is 24 students. So it gives you a sense of the numbers that we're looking at. It's a small number, but we are doing well. So what does the state want us to look at? They ask us to look at problems and barriers to students coming to school. They look for us to review recommendations that are going to help us support parents, children coming to school. They look at the communication strategies that we have in place to make sure we are, implementing things that will help change any chronic absenteeism. We also look at internal protocols that we have within our school building to make sure that they are, building safe, welcoming environments. And last, we have to review, of course, the school policy. It's the 5200 school policy, which is our absentee policy. So that's what we're asked to look at. So what I'm giving you here is a snapshot of our longitudinal data. You can see our 24-25 data, which came out at the end of January and the mid-February, is down from 21-22, and that's due to culture. Right, so you will notice that we're below state average from 22-23, which is at 18%, and we're almost always below state average, which is at 15%. So our numbers are strong in that we're really only a smidgen over that 10% mark. But we are a place where we do solutions, and our intention is to figure out how to do that. How do we do that? We get our key stakeholders in the room together. Who are those key stakeholders? Principals and assistant principals. They have been working on it since September, right? They've been working on it probably since their whole career. However, since September, there has been very intentional conversations surrounding attendance. Now we're getting a trifecta together. That trifecta is counselors, teachers, and mentors. Those mentors are identified others in the building, a coach, someone else who might be able to support students and or reach out to parents. And then, of course, the last component is the parent guardian. So us building a strong line of communication with parents of how important it is for their children to be here and for us to be able to help them is essential. So these are the key stakeholders. As the principals went through and developed their plans, they were looking at the attendance challenges. Some of our challenges are transportation. So in a walking district, especially when you start to get older, 7 through 12, we have to make sure we're inspiring students to be self-motivated and getting here on time and making sure they're part of it. Also with our parents, right, we have to make sure we're relying on their transportation. They're getting their younger children to school on time. So that's something that we need to communicate to parents, how important it is, the routines and the regular schedule. The next piece is the medical issue. A lot of times parents will look at a sickness because it says excused, or we give them, it's an excused absence. They think that it doesn't count towards their absences. In the eyes of the state, an absence is an absence is an absence. So any absence, be it a sick day and or just a truancy where someone's not there, counts towards their 18. So that's something where we're having to inform parents and make sure we're giving them that information. Another component is extended travel. So we're going to have to work with parents to make sure they utilize the vacation time that's implanted in the 180-day schedule more so than extending their vacations, right? So when parents try to extend their vacation, it can oftentimes create a problem with the absenteeism. And then the last component that weighs heavy and that we're addressing is the pre-K 3, 4, and K program. Being that they're non-compulsory, we really have to make sure that we're training parents that, one, it is important. You're building habits of mind, you're building routines, and you're also really giving students a step into their programs when they get into the first grade. So those are some of the key attendance challenges that we're addressing. In order to monitor these pieces, we've been looking at data. How do we get that data? Through our Genesis programs. Genesis helps us to look at gender. We can look at grade level. We can look at race. We can look at economic status to see where there may be problem areas. In our identification of those areas, we can address them. There is a standard parent notification letter and meetings that many of the principals have been doing all year long. Letters go out at 4 absences, 8 absences, and 12 absences. So these meetings are scheduled in order to support parents. So one key element is identifying what the at-risk looks like. So early interventions are those students who are in the 1 to 10 range, are what we're calling that hot list, where we're getting the mentors and that trifecta of counselor and teacher together, are those students who are falling into the 11 and 17. Why those folks? Because you're getting very close to becoming 18 absences out of the 180, which would make you chronically absent. However, those students who are chronic or severely absent, we're still supporting so that they're getting all of their, academic, merit for their education. So it's important that even if a student has gone beyond that 18, we still are supporting them academically and making sure we're figuring out how we can support them. Then we get into really what is the action plan. So the action plan looks at some big picture stuff. So those big pictures are literally big pictures, like signs. So when you're driving by Smalley, you should see the beautiful sign flashing attendance matters every day. We love you. Reach out. You will also see Instagram posts coming from Miss Kehas, who I get to stand in for tonight. They have wonderful things about, what did I miss yesterday? Here's a picture of the teacher with Superman. So it's, a way to really inspire people. So our other intentional things, so we have messaging. The other piece that I talked about was the attendance intentional supports, which is that trifecta of counselor, teacher, mentor. We really need to build a good, positive communication with parents. That's a major essential part to our targeted support and through communication. And then what I want to highlight is 4 and 5. Those are those building-based initiatives where we're trying to inspire students. So they're looking at like attendance boards. So we can kind of have a March Madness chart to see who's getting better attendance in what class. We could have an ice cream social happening at one school. There could be brag tags to really show improved attendance and a way to make sure that we're giving the students a sense of, developing that, being positive about their growth. So those are the main parts of our action plan: messaging, having that trifecta of counselor, teacher, mentor support, parent communication, and then those internal building initiatives. So what do? We implement these caps. We are regularly monitoring and adjusting as we are going through. And then, in a couple months, we'll report back to you to see where we are. So we will do, review, report. Thank you. Any questions?
Yep. Okay, next up is the presentation of our 26-27 budget. I am pleased to share, as the board members already know, we received an additional $2 million in state aid, which will allow us to not only maintain the staff we have, but to continue with the educational program, the great educational program that we have that addresses the needs of all of our diverse students. Now, we all know putting together a budget like this requires a lot of hard work. So before we actually start the budget, I'm going to thank the people that were involved. We want to start, of course, with the governor and the NJDOE for recognizing our needs and making sure that we got that additional $2 million. Mr. Januzzi and our Board of Education, especially our Operations Committee, Mr. Zubko, the chairperson for the Operations Committee being so engaged, asking the right questions, giving right ideas, giving direction. So we want to thank them. We also want to thank our leadership team for the tremendous amount of work that goes into it. Days, weeks, individual work, small group work, whole group work, revisions, all of those things that happen. So we want to thank them as well. I think with the comprehensiveness budget, we're going to even do better than what we've done in previous years. So I'm very proud of the budget that we've put together. All right, without further ado, I want to introduce Christine Lee, who is going to be doing her first budget presentation along with Robin.
Thank you. So this is, okay. So good evening. Welcome to Brook 2027 budget presentation. This budget year was a little bit unique and challenging. First of all, we had a new governor. That was her first budget with the $12 billion, a little over $12 billion for school funding and state aid cap of 6%. There was also been changes to state budget calendar, which shifted the key submission dates for us and added a lot of confusion and complexity to our budget process. However, despite all those challenges, throughout the months of time and effort and collaborations among the administrative team, with a lot of discussions and meetings, we were successfully were able to put our comprehensive and balanced budget this year. I know that Dr. Freeman thanked the board and then all these board members and principals. But never enough. So I sincerely thank the board and Dr. Freeman and entire administrative team for all the hard work putting in this budget for the best interest of our students. I also thank the governor for her support of the education. So members of the Board of Education under the leadership of Mr. Januzzi, board president, we ensure that every dollar spent on this budget were accounted for and directed towards students' education and their success. I like to extend a special thank you for the Operation Committee Their strong commitment to fiscal responsibility played a key role in the shaping this budget. Mission statement. Every budget allocation you see tonight is aligned to our core promise to support multicultural community that provides an innovative and academically challenging programs, while offering a variety of other co-curricular and extracurricular programs. Vision statement. Our vision is to provide comprehensive educational program. What is comprehensive educational program? That means we providing a full scope of educational programs, not just the one academic area, but we are preparing the students for life after the graduation and providing educational opportunity both within and outside of the classroom, promoting academic and personal growth for their entire life. Board goals and district goals. Both board goals and the district goals are aligned with our mission and vision we discussed previously. They focused on giving every child well-rounded education in a multicultural community. There are specifics of our board goals and the district goals. They are all directed and then best interest for our students' growth. Budget timeline. This is a typical budget timeline. We started our budget planning last October. We worked through every step for several months with the careful collaboration and the discussion and the meetings. I greatly appreciate our supervisors, Dr. Freeman, board members, the principals, supervisor, everyone who contributed their time and then their hard work into this budget. We also implemented our new planning approach this year with the administrative team, which worked very well. And we were able to create a new structured and streamlined process. I'm going to get some feedback on this since this is new. If we can, improve if there's any process for next year. Now we can dive into some numbers. So where does money come from? So the major source of our revenue come from government aid and the local taxes. So the federal aid and state aid and the local taxes, basically those are something that we don't have a control over. The only thing we have a control over is the fund balance. This year's fund balance is a little bit high, 10%. Fund balance is the unspent surplus that carried over from prior years. Since we have a fund balance, which is our savings, we were, even if our state aid is 55%, we were able to build a balanced budget. The local tax percentage was the same as last year. So the 56% of state aid that we received, what are those? There are two types of state aid. One is equalization aid, the other one is categorical aid. Equalization aid is calculated by state formula, distributed by property values and income levels. Basically, this is the aid that state help us with the difference of what the district can afford and what it should have been spent for the students' education. We are still a little bit of under adequacy, getting very close to it, but still there's a little bit of gap. But this year, because of thanks to the new governor, we were able to receive a little bit of more state aid. The categorical aid is calculated by the number of students who participate in those categorical programs, we receive special ed, security, transportation, choice school, and preschool aid. So general fund to state aid, we can see the difference between this year's aid we received and then prior last year's. So there are we received a higher increase the aid in equalization. In general, we received the increased aid in every category, but mainly equalization aid and special education aid and preschool aid. Why preschool aid? We had a 4 mandated classroom expansion. So they calculated for the staffing needs and the program needs. So we were able to receive more preschool aid. Special education aid, there's an increase in a cost in the special education program services, like a tuition, related services, supplies, all that. There are a lot of more students are lately getting into special education program that we need to support. And the equalization aid, according to state formula, to close the gap for the adequacy, we received about $1.5 million for equalization aid only. So total increase in general fund to state aid is about $2.9 million, and percentage increase compared to last year was at 7.3%. So where does money go? Most of our funding goes for the students. So instruction, curriculum, professional development, and salaries are 73%. Rest of the money goes to transportation, 2.8%, capital projects, about 4%, administration, debt service, and athletics. Actually, athletics and co-curricular percentage increased a little bit because we created new programs for athletic, new teams and programs. Custodial and maintenance increased by 1% compared to last year due to inflation. The materials and services, they became more expensive. The one thing we notice is employee benefits. That's health insurance premiums. State average is 31.9%, almost 32%. So it increased very high. That is impacting our budget, not only our budget, all the school districts in New Jersey. So I'll talk more about this health insurance cost and then how it impacts to us. So what is included in this budget? The capital projects and equipments we are planning to purchase and use for renovations and then repairs. These funds, some of these funds are funded by fund balance because fund balance is a non-occurring one-time surplus. We don't want to spend or budget those one-time fund revenue as a recurring the expenses, because those fund balance we don't have. That's not guaranteed surplus revenue. So we are spending one-time revenue for one-time expense. So now I hand it over to Ms. Griffin. She'll talk about more detail in how well we are doing in the instruction programs.
Hi, so I'm gonna explain our budget priorities regarding a curriculum and instruction and where our money's going for that. So this budget is really about being intentional making strategic investments in staffing, programs, and resources that directly support student achievement and align to our district goals. A major focus is strengthening curriculum across all grade levels to ensure it's aligned, rigorous, and reflective of updated standards and new program adoptions. You'll see a significant investment in new K-6 math programs and a grades 6 to 8 science program, which will better bring greater consistency and coherence across classrooms. At the high school level, we're continuing to expand opportunities through new AP courses and offerings that better meet students' interests and readiness. We are also continuing to strengthen our AVID initiative and our college and career readiness work to ensure students are prepared beyond graduation. And importantly, all curriculum work is being aligned to the New Jersey student learning standards to ensure consistency and accountability. To support this work, we're investing in high-quality instructional materials across all content areas, both core and supplemental. We are also expanding digital resources, particularly in middle school social studies, to enhance access and engagement. And we are continuing to replenish materials so teachers and students have what they need to support strong, standard-aligned instruction. This first area is really about strengthening what happens in the classroom every day, ensuring high-quality instruction for all students. We know that student success is strongly connected to family engagement, so we're continuing to expand opportunities for families to be involved. This includes literacy nights, STEM events, Title I programs, and student recognition opportunities that celebrate and support our learners. We are also continuing to support enrichment opportunities, including the arts and cross-curricular experiences, to provide a well-rounded education. Another key area is investing in our staff. We're expanding professional development in critical areas like literacy, math, science, dual language, and AI integration, along with strengthening data-driven instructional practices. We are also continuing to build our coaching and support systems, including intervention programs like ASI, IXL, and Common Lit. And just as important, we're supporting school culture through SEL and restorative practices. To support these initiatives, we're investing in staffing where it matters most. This includes expanding early childhood programming, strengthening bilingual education, and ensuring we have the staffing needed to support the transportation and targeted student needs. We are also continuing to expand preschool, including summer opportunities, to support early learners from the very beginning. Specific new positions included in this budget are a preschool teacher assistant, preschool intervention and referral specialist, grade 6 dual bilingual teacher, and a full-time bus driver. And so this slide really reflects our commitment to supporting not just instruction, but the whole student and the systems around them. And then all of these investments are not isolated. They're intentionally aligned to our district's strategic goals. First is student experience. This budget expands access to rigorous curriculum, increases AP and enrichment opportunities, and strengthens individualized supports like AVID and interventions. From a finance and facilities perspective, we're being thoughtful about aligning program expansion with enrollment and making sustainable investments in core programs and resources. We are also continuing to strengthen communication and family engagement, ensuring families have access to information, resources, and opportunities to support their children. And finally, we're investing in our people through professional development, instructional support, and targeted staffing to build and retain a strong, diverse workforce. Overall, this budget reflects a balanced approach, investing in programs, people, and resources in a way that is aligned, sustainable, and focused on improving outcomes for all students. At its core, this budget is about ensuring that every student has access to high-quality instruction, meaningful opportunities, and the support they need to succeed. I'm going to turn it back over to Ms. Lee, and she is going to get into more specifics about the the general tax fund levy. Okay, Ms. Lee.
Fun stuff. Okay, we'll talk about tax now. So let's see. What impacts the tax rate? There are a few factors that impacts tax rate. First, state aid. So when we receive the state aid, the more state aid we receive, the tax levy goes down, which means our local share goes down because the state covers the more bills. So our portion of responsibility to cover the cost goes down. fund balance. This is the extra surplus that we saved from prior years. If we utilize those savings to the budget, obviously we don't have to impose those tax levy to the community. Ratables are taxable properties. So the more taxable properties are there, because we are sharing all those tax burdens and spread them out, so that the more ratables are there, the more tax burden can be spread. The last, the student enrollment and then health insurance premium cost. These are two adjustments that we can apply. These are state-approved tax levy incentives. So the enrollments, when the enrollment changes and then health insurance changes, the difference can be applied to raise the tax levy to close the gap. So general fund tax levy, how we budgeted tax levy this year. So last year's tax levy was $14,244,882. So now we are allowed to have a 2% cap, which is a 2% of $14,244,882, which is $14,529,780. That's the normally the state allows to cap the tax levy. This year, we are proposing to utilize the adjustment of healthcare, which is healthcare premium cost. The difference between last year's healthcare cost and then the increased health care cost this year. So that much of health cost premium increased, which is our portion that we have to cover that increase. And then second thing is a tax levy cap. Tax levy cap is that we undertaxed in the previous years. So state allow us to catch up to 2% for the difference. We had a 263,084 tax cap. That's the oldest one that will expire soon. So once it's expired, we lose it. So I'm proposing to use it this year. So our total increase in tax levy after 2% cap is $1.598,428. So total tax levy proposed is $60,128,208. Not go there yet. So why are we applying the healthcare adjustment and tax levy cap? Over the years, we have a balance with the fiscal discipline, keeping tax increases to below 2% for the past few years, building that surplus. So over the years, we didn't raise tax levy above the 2%, but we utilized the surplus. But because there is a structural gap for this year, because when mandatory costs such as healthcare costs and utilities and other recurring costs grow faster than 2% tax levy cap. So there's a structural gap that we need to cover those extra costs that the state aid cannot cover. So we cannot no longer rely on one-time surplus without going tax levy above 2%. The increase in inflation rate is grow really faster than this tax levy cap. So after we apply the health adjustments and then bank cap of $200,000, last year's the school tax rate was 1.1070. This year's rate is 1.1151. So increase in tax rate is 0.8%. And in dollar, approximately $39.54 cents per year, about $3, less than $3 per month. Thank you to all who contribute to developing this budget. Any questions?
So I would say to make sure that we get all of the comments on the microphones, why don't we all go back to our seats and we can have a discussion.
After you.
Awesome. So, thank you. So first, let me start by saying congratulations, Miss Lee. I thought that that was an outstanding presentation.
Thank
And
you.
if you hadn't said that it was your first one, I could have easily mistaken it for your 10th. Well done. There is one group, though, that I think you left out in all of the accolades and everything else. I think it's fantastic to see the members of your team here to support you tonight. So Natasha, Dari, Angel, oh, I'm sorry, Paula. Thank you so much for coming out and for supporting Miss Lee, not only tonight, but throughout the entire process. You guys are the heartbeat of what we do, and we couldn't do it without you. Thank you. Okay. Before we open the floor for comments, I just want to make a few of my own, if that's okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I think it's important to note that the state's funding formula, typically referred to as S2 at this point, has fully matured.
Yes.
I thought it was really interesting to see that in the governor's budget address, she's adopted some boundaries. So one of the common complaints from school districts who were on the other side of the formula where money was being taken away were complaining about how much funding they were losing from year to year. And so with this budget, the governor has introduced a cap on no more than a 3% decrease in equalization aid for a given year, but then also a cap that says no district will get more than a 6% increase in equalization aid in a given year. So I think this is the first budget where we're really forced to come to terms with an adjustment in the strategy that we've used for the past few years.
Correct.
I think we've done a great job and a very responsible job as a board of using the incoming state equalization aid to reduce the tax burden and not apply the types of adjustments that you were talking about regarding insurance. But I also think it's important to note that those costs are exploding across the board. I think the work that our business team has done and our operations committee has contributed to look for alternatives to help us beat the average have been phenomenal, right? We've been right on the leading edge of that to keep those costs down, but still they're double-digit percentage increases for us. And so with the state aid leveling out and those costs continuing to increase, I think it was the appropriate time for us to change our posture about where and how we share. And I was happy to see that included in this budget version. I want to give some extra kudos to the operations committee and again to the administrative team. When Christine says that the budget process starts in October, that includes the need to provide multiple different iterations and contingency plans. And so the last operations committee, we actually reviewed a version of this budget that was, let's say, pessimistic in the sense that, if our state aid went down, what would that look like and how would the administration respond? And I think it's a fantastic exercise to go through with the board because it really stress tests our commitment to different parts of the strategic plan and our goals. And so having that conversation and gaining alignment on the worst possible outcome was a great way to go about it, but also being prepared to react within the span of a week or 10 days to different news that comes out of the governor's office, and really be prudent and responsible with how we apply those monies to the budget version, I think is an understated part of the process. And I just want to make sure that you guys acknowledge and get some credit for that. So well done. That's it from me. Roger, as Operations Committee Chair, would you like to make any comments?
Yes, I would first of all, phenomenal job to everybody. I don't think that what you've done today resonates here tonight, but will resonate into the future because of the incredible job you've done. This is a team effort. There's tremendous accolades to go all around, but Miss Lee and your team, I want to take my hat off. Being an educator for 33 years, I've seen budgets come and go. And I have to say, I think this is an exemplary budget. And it's a wonderful, it's really an example of teamwork, right? I mean, when we have our operations meeting, I have to say, it's really an incredible exchange of ideas. And with other districts in the news, either closing schools or losing staff, I think that all of us, our staff members and the community as a whole, need to really take a look and say that we've kept everybody, we're adding some things, and not every district can say that. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, from the community's heart. I think that we have a stellar team, and I just want to take my hat off to everybody. But Miss Lee, I know you were sweating it, and you knocked it out of the ballpark. So thank you for everybody. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well said. All right, now at this time, I'll open the floor for any other comments or questions from the members of the board. Going once, going twice. Sounds like you did a really good job.
Thank you.
Okay, so we are now up to the first reading of the budget, correct?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Lee, since this is a really long one, would you care to do the honors?
All right. Be resolved that the Brook Board of Education, upon recommendation of the superintendent, accepts the 2026-27 tentative general fund budget be adopted in the amount of $66,822,710 and a tentative general fund local levy, tax levy in the amount of $16 million, $60,128,208 and a tentative special revenue fund in the amount of $4,209,642 and a tentative debt service budget in the amount of $1,642,663 and a tentative debt service local tax levy in the amount of $736,568, whereby the tentative 2026-27 budget totals $72,675,015. And whereas the Brook Board of Education has been notified of a state aid amounts, and whereas such state aid amounts are for 26-27 equalization aid is $34,861,165, and for 26-27 the school choice aid is $110,546, and for 26-27 the categorical special education aid is $3,179,955, and for 26-27 the categorical security aid is $904,627, and 26-27 categorical transportation aid is $187,069, and 26-27 the preschool education aid is $2,425,220, and 26-27 the debt service aid is $875,492. And whereas the Brook Board of Education has estimated a state aid amount pursuant to application, and for 26-27 the estimated extraordinary aid amount is $180,000. And whereas policy number 6471 and NJAC 68:23A-7.3 provides that the Board of Education shall establish in the annual school budget a maximum expenditure amount that may be allotted for travel and expense reimbursement for 2026-27 school year. Now therefore be resolved that the Bound Board of Education hereby establish the school district annual travel maximum for 26-27 school year at a total of $57,500, and be it further resolved that the school business administrator shall track and record these costs to ensure that the maximum amount is not exceeded. And whereas that the Board of Education includes in the tentative budget the adjustment for increased costs of health benefits in the amount of $1,335,344. The additional funds will be used to pay for the additional increase in health benefit premiums. Whereas that the Board of Education includes in the tentative budget the adjustment for the bank cap on the amount of $263,084. In accordance with NJAC 68:23A-10.3B, the district has fully exhausted all eligible statutory spending authority. The adjustment will be used for the tuition paid for VOTAC programs. The Board of Education will complete this by June 30, 2027, and acknowledges that it cannot be deferred or incrementally completed over a longer period of time. Be resolved that there should be a raise for taxes for the general funds of $66,822,710 for the ensuing fiscal year 2026-2027. Now therefore let it be resolved that the superintendent of schools and the business administrator board secretary file the required documents with the executive county superintendent.
And breathe. That was really well done. Thank you, Ms. Lee. I think we need to entertain a motion. Mr. Zupko, thank you. A second. Thank you, Mr. Incalcatera. We'll do a roll call, Christine.
Okay, Mr. Bell,
Yes.
Mr. Dawson,
Yes.
Ms. High, Mr. Incalcatera, Mr. Januzzi,
Yes.
Mr. Minhas, Ms. Mooson, Mr. Valmer, Mr. Zupko. Motion passes.
Okay, let's take the pressure off of Ms. Lee for a few minutes. We will do our, I apologize. Mr. Musson is not with us tonight. He had a prior engagement, so we do not have a student board member report. Just to note that, and we are up to committee meetings now. We'll start with education. Mr. Dawson, the floor is yours.
Okay. We had two main topics in our education committee this past month. The first one was chronic absenteeism, which we heard from Mr. Ross earlier. The district has put together a comprehensive plan that will help kids get to school more regularly. We appreciate all the nuances. It looks different at every level, and it's a complicated issue to address. But we are confident that we will continue to make gains in the area, and we appreciate the work of all of our staff to help kids and families get to school, and not only get to school, but enjoy their time at school. We also looked at the upcoming state assessment, which is called the NJSLA-A. As you might recall from the fall, this is a new assessment that the state appears to be building the plane as they fly it. So we're all trying to figure out exactly what that might look like and how to administer it in a way that is optimal for our kids and our schools. So the district has prepared a number of ideas and contingency plans and are in the process of getting our staff and students ready for that upcoming assessment. I think one thing that's important for us to know as a board is that because the assessment is new, it's going to make it a little bit more challenging to compare how our kids did this year versus previous years. It's apples to oranges, and this first time we don't quite know what the assessment or the data that comes from it might look like. So it may be a little bit of an adjustment process for us, but we are in good hands. And I'm sure that our teachers, our administrators, our kids will do the best they can with the assessment.
Thank you, Mr. Dawson. Any questions regarding the Education Committee? All right, hearing none. Oh, no. Yeah, there it is. We are up to governance. I believe Mrs. High is going to give us the report this month.
Okay, it was actually a quick meeting. The first thing that we did is we reviewed, it was the first policy reading for school safe zone policy. And this policy declares that the district to be a safe zone for its students, meaning that the district is a place for students to learn, to thrive, to seek assistance and information, all while supporting the students' physical and emotional safety. In addition, the district has a responsibility to ensure that all students who reside within its boundaries, regardless of immigration status, can safely access a free public education K-12. The other topic that we discussed were negotiations, and we are starting negotiations with the Bound Brook Administrative Association. And that's it.
Very good. Thank you, Mrs. High. And I'll just note for everybody's reference that the policy that Sue was referring to is actually on the agenda tonight. It's item 9.2, so we will be voting on it later this evening. Any questions regarding governance? All right, hearing none, we are going to stay with Mrs. High for Human Resources.
Okay, the next is the HR committee. We met. The first thing always on our agenda is just to look at the personnel updates. And again, we have 10 positions, and some of those positions, Mrs. Griffin, she announced tonight, which is looking for a preschool teacher, for some bus drivers, etc. So in those 10 positions, it's 5 teaching and then bus drivers, maintenance, secretarial. So we're in a really good spot. It's just so nice to see this. It's also the time of year where, you know, the administrative staff is just looking at renewals, non-renewals, and also looking at all the scheduling needs throughout the district. We did have the first initial negotiation meeting with the BBAA, and during that meeting, we established ground rules and we scheduled our next 3 meetings. So we're set to go. And that's it.
Well done. Questions for Human Resources? All right, Mr. Zupko, Operations.
Well, operations, we talked about something we never spoke about before. It was interesting. We went over the budget. So there's nothing really new other than to say the presentation was done, pros and cons were done. And like Mr. Januzzi said, you know, we went over some doomsday scenarios, and I'm glad that that was not the case. So again, the budget presentation was held here tonight. So that was the gist of operations.
Sounds good. Any questions for Mr. Zupko on the operations? Go ahead.
One deviation. We also want to recognize and acknowledge the incredible new sign put up in front of the high school. And I'm going to tell you, everyone stops me in the frozen food aisle at ShopRite, and I've gotten about 5 compliments how incredible it is. It looks great. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, because I know I was one of the instigators for that. So excellent job, everybody. Excellent.
Yeah, I think that probably gets us close to completing some of the work that the Operations Committee requested, I don't know, a year, 18 months ago, really trying to dedicate some time and energy to the appearance of our district, because it's, you know, especially for the general public passing by, it's really that view of the outside in and, you know, a sense of pride and community spirit that they can develop. So thank you, Dr. Freeman, and to the entire team for really completing that journey. Any other comments or questions for operations? All right. There was no Educational Services Commission meeting since our last Board of Education meeting, so we'll have that report next time, which brings us up to our Southbound Brook report. Mr. Incalcaterra, the floor is yours.
So, first and foremost, the budget was amazing, but in Southbound Brook, we did our tentative budget and passed it. We did not receive any additional, as a matter of fact, we received less state aid this time around. Through a process of cutting programs and not backfilling vacated positions, we will not suffer any staff loss because of it. And let's see here, what else do I have? There will be no staff loss, but we are eliminating some positions in name only and transferring certain people into other positions to maintain the staff. Exact numbers are best off given by the business department, not me. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Incalcaterra. Okay, any other final comments or questions regarding committees? Then let me just say thank you for all of the hard work that you guys put in away from the table to make sure that we have a productive and well thought out execution plan once we get here. So thank you again. All right, we are up to item 5.1. So in accordance with District Policy 0167, we are currently open to the public for agenda items only. Public participation in board meetings requires that individuals sign in either at the podium or I think they used to say online, at the podium and provide their name, address, and group affiliation if applicable. When addressing the board, please state your name and address and limit comments to agenda items only directed to the presiding officer. Each participant is allowed 3 to 5 minutes to speak, and no individual may address the same topic more than once until all others wishing to speak have had an opportunity to do so. Any comments from the audience? No? Now's your chance. No. Okay. Item 6.1, be it resolved that the Bound Brook Board of Education, upon recommendation of the superintendent, approves the minutes for the following Board of Education meetings, regular and executive meeting minutes from February 18th, 2026. May I have a motion? Thank you, Mr. Ball. A second.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Dawson. Any discussion? I think we're all discussed out. Ms. Lee, a roll call, please.
Sure. Mr. Bell?
Yes.
Mr. Dawson?
Yes.
Mr. High? Mr. Incalcaterra? Mr. Januzzi?
Yes.
Mr. Minhas? Ms. Mooson? Mr. Valmer? Mr. Zupko? Motion passes.
Thank you. Item 7.1, be it resolved that the superintendent recommends for approval the resolutions as outlined in district personnel resolutions. This is items 7.2 through 7.49. May I have a motion? Thank you, Mr. Incalcaterra. A second.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Minhas. Any discussion? Okay, Ms. Lee, a roll call, please.
Mr. Bell?
Yes.
Mr. Dawson?
Yes.
Mr. High? Mr. Incalcaterra? Mr. Januzzi?
Yes?
Mr. Minhas? Ms. Mooson? Mr. Valmer? Mr. Zupko? Motion passes.
Thank you. That was section 8, right? 7. Thank you, sir. Keep me honest here. Up to item 8.1, be it resolved that the Bound Brook Board of Education approves the resolutions as outlined in district education resolutions. This is item 8.2 through 8.20. May I have a motion? Thank you, Ms. Musson. A second. Thank you, Mrs. High. Any discussion?
The creature comfort pet therapy. I'm just looking at that, and I think that's incredible. And
I happen to know a student or two that's planning to participate, and they would agree with you.
I'm really, really impressed that we're doing that. So kudos. Good job.
Thank you, Mr. Zupko. Any other comments or questions?
Mr. President, can I confirm that Ms. Musa moved the motion? Who?
Ms. Musa?
Okay, all right,
Yes,
okay, thank you.
yes. And Mrs. High was the second.
Mhm, okay, thank you.
All right, hearing no other comments, we can do a roll call, please.
Okay, Mr. Bell?
Yes.
Mr. Dawson?
Yes.
Ms. High? Mr. Calcaterra? Mr. Januzzi?
Yes.
Mr. Manhas? Ms. Musin? Mr. Volmer? Mrs. Zupko? Motion passes.
Thank you. Item 9.1, be it resolved that the Bound Brook Board of Education approves the resolutions as outlined in board action resolutions. This is item 9.2 through 9.35. May I have a motion? Thank you, Mrs. High. A second. Thank you, Mr. Incalcaterra. Any discussion? Go, Mrs. High.
Just real quick, I know that one of our goals as a district and as a board is just that community awareness and just bringing the community together. And 9.22, which is the parent conference and to strengthen communications and build partnerships between the school families and the multilingual learners, I'm just very happy to see that. I think that's so important to Bound Brook. So kudos on that. And just wanted to thank ShopRite for their donation.
Well said. Thank you, Mrs. High. Other comments or questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Credit where it's due here.
There you go.
I meant thank you to the PTO.
Yeah, Mike wants to be able to get in the house when he gets home tonight. You got
Just to, we also have the donation from St. Martin's. Wanted to thank them for the baskets as well.
Oh,
Well
right.
said.
Thank you so much.
And I think that really reinforces your comment, Mrs. High, about community, right? So it's always heartening to see that when there's something that our students or our school community needs, that the businesses in town always seem to step up. Any other comments or questions regarding the items in section 9? All right, Ms. Lee, a roll call, please.
Sure. Mr. Bell?
Yes.
Mr. Dawson?
Yes.
Ms. High?
Yes.
Mr. Incalcaterra? Mr. Januzzi?
Yes.
Mr. Manhas? Ms. Musin? Mr. Volmer? Mr. Zupko? Motion passes.
Thank you. We are now up to other matters to come before the board, which I have not received any. So we are open for new business. This would be from the board members for any items not already on the agenda.
I have one.
Yes, Mrs. High.
Actually, I'm not sure if it's new or old. A while ago, we were asked by the rec committee to have somebody to help with the Memorial Day parade, just to represent it. And I'll tell you, what a wonderful group of people. They work so hard and are just so committed to what they're doing. And I'll tell you, kudos to, there's some teachers here who are really helping out. And here's what we have from Bound Brook so far. The Bound Brook PTO, the Bound Brook cheerleaders, both from the middle school and the high school, Bound Brook Robotics, the Drama Club, the Board of Ed, and we're getting a banner. Bound Brook Basketball, Bound Brook Baseball, Bound Brook Wrestling. And then there are a number of groups in town too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like a dozen just from town. And the goal is to kind of bring it back to New Jersey and have it to Bound Brook, and just something to be proud of again in the community. So it is going to be on Memorial Day, which is Monday, the 25th, I think it is. But just wanted to report on that. And we have a meeting tomorrow, actually, so I'll be able to bring some more information. Okay?
Sounds good. Thank you for the update, Mrs. High. Any other new business? Okay, hearing none, we are officially open to the public for discussion. I will forego reading the blurb that is in the agenda. It matches more or less what I talked about with agenda items. Anybody want to address the board? Going once? No, we're good. All right. So that moves us to item 13.1. Be it resolved that the Bound Brook Board of Education enter executive session as allowed by NJSA 10:4-11 for the purposes outlined in this agenda under items 1, 3, 6, and 8. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Mr. Ball. A second. Thank you, Mr. Minhas. All in favor? Aye. We are adjourned to executive. All right, everybody, we are back in session. Up to item 14.1. Be it resolved that the Bound Brook Board of Education approves the resolutions as outlined in approval of HIB cases under high school. This is item 14.2. I have a motion. Thank you, Mr. Dawson. A second. Thank you, Mr. Zupko. A roll call, please.
Mr. Ball,
Yes.
Mr. Dawson,
Yes.
Mr. Hyde, Mr. Incalcatera, Mr. Januzzi,
Yes.
Mr. Minhas, Ms. Musin, Mr. Volmer, Mr. Zupko. Motion passes.
Thank you. Item 15.1, be it resolved that the Bound Brook Board of Education approves the resolutions as outlined in approval of HIB cases under middle and elementary schools. This is item 15.2. I have a motion. Thank you, Mrs. High. A second.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Bowell. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bell,
Yes.
Mr. Dawson,
Yes.
Mr. Hyde, Mr. Incalcatera, Mr. Januzzi,
Yes.
Mr. Minhas, Mr. Ms. Musin, Mr. Volmer, Mr. Zupko. Motion passes.
Thank you. Item 16.1, be it resolved that the Bound Brook Board of Education adjourns. A motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Mr. Bowell. A second? I'm giving it to Ms. Hyde so that we know that it's for real. All in favor? Aye. We are adjourned. Thank you all.
Time is 8:32.